Live from New York, it's a day of making with Ask an Engineer.
Thanks, PT.
Yeah.
Today is official Maker Day. It's International or National Maker Day.
Yep.
It's a day where you can watch soccer and also make stuff at the same time.
This is a special edition of Ask an Engineer. We couldn't make it to the White House today, but they said, well, what do you guys normally do on Wednesdays? We said, well, we do these shows. Yeah, so we just had the show and tell, and this is Nation of Makers Show and Tell edition, so that's on YouTube right now.
Logo,
and then right now is Ask an Engineer, Nation of Makers.
Okay.
Day of Making, June 18th, 2014. It's here.
But if you're a maker, you can watch. If you want to be a maker, you can watch this, whatever. Anyways, I'm the engineer, Lady Ada.
That's
With
right.
me is PT, Mr. Lady Ada.
Assistant to the Maker Stars, I think. Yeah, that's what I'm calling myself now.
And we have an exciting show today. We'll talk more about the Day of Making.
That's right.
And Nation of Makers. We also got discount codes, new products, 3D printed adabots.
Yeah, maybe
all sorts of fun stuff.
I'll talk about that.
Maybe we'll talk about
On today's show, don't forget the code is, you guessed it, Nation of Makers, 10% off everything in the Adafruit store. We'll be celebrating the Day of Making. Lady Ada will be talking about what was on the show and tell, the special Nation of Makers show and tell. We'll be talking about, you guessed it, there's that maker fair at the White House. We'll be talking about some of our favorite makers in the world on this special day. We'll have Packet the mailbag. We'll stop by. Hello, Packet.
Hello,
Show
Packet.
the mail. Adafruit Learning System, lots of guides and more.
Yes.
Some Time Travel Tuesday, news and more in the world of making. Mm-hmm. Wearable electronics, all the news that's fit to wear and blink. 3D printing and more. We have a special video. We're going to have new products. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to have a trivia question. All that and more on, you guessed it, Ask an Engineer.
Special edition, Nation of Makers.
Yeah. All right. So let's first.
Gotta rock this thing?
Yeah. Let's first pay some bills. The code is Nation of Makers, and it's 10% off all the way up until midnight tonight. That gets you started on your maker journey, and it'll save you some bucks.
Works also if you're not in America.
We take Bitcoin, and that's one of the things we have to mention each week. If you have Bitcoins, you can use them. And here's something interesting. Speaking of the government, all of those Bitcoins that were seized in a recent raid or something, they're getting auctioned off by the FBI. So that probably means it's a real currency. They're auctioning off something that has...
They say it has some value.
There's some value, so it must be real. So anyways, we have Adafruit accept Bitcoins. Also, we haven't announced this yet, but for the people who are super users of the Adafruit site, we now take Amazon payments as well.
That's a secret, Phil. You're only supposed to tell everybody that.
Just the friends here at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just between you and me, we take Amazon payments. So if you have
Yeah.
an Amazon account, you can now use your Amazon account to check out,
Yeah.
which is great because Amazon stores your credit card, not us.
Yeah, so that means if you're one of the 215 million people who have an Amazon account,
statistically,
that means you have all of your stuff already to go
Yep.
in Adafruit. And I had to order some stuff off the Adafruit site, and I have an Amazon account. It was actually really, really easy. Okay. We also have our special deals going, $99 or more, free PCB ruler, and
it's back. People love the PCB ruler.
200 more free UPS ground in continental USA. The discount code and other things do not...
If you're part of this great nation, except for Hawaii and Alaska.
Well, those we don't have ground yet.
I know.
But the only thing for the discount code tonight, EagleCAD and gift certificates, of course, are not discounted. All right, so let's get the show on the road. We got a lot of stuff ahead.
Okay.
As seen on the show and tell, the show and tell is every single week. It's like a mini maker fair that we have
is.
every Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Lady Ada, what was on the show and tell this week?
Not only is it a Maker Faire, but it's a Maker Faire that you don't actually. We can't prove that everyone's wearing pants. We actually just don't know. It's just that it's that free. It's about freedom.
Yeah. Okay.
We had a packed house today. We had 1, 2, 3,
Met a lot of
4,
people.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We had 10 people show up again. Really, these are packed show and tell. So if you want to be on the show and tell, get in early is what I suggest to people, so that we have time to you can get in. Also, we can
Make early and make often.
make early. Exactly. We started off with Tony DeCola. Tony DeCola is Team Adafruit, Northwest, and he's celebrating Day of Making by making a Blinky. He made a blinking LED with a new platform, the LPC 810, which he's never used before. He tried it out with K-Town tutorials, and it's great. He's also been working on porting many of the most popular Adafruit sensors and projects to single board computers in general, BeagleBone Black and Python and Raspberry Pi. So we did that with the BMP180 barometric pressure sensor. And he's creating a nice solid structure of code that allows all of the I2C, SPI, analog, etc. sensors to be used with any single board computer. There's going to be more there's only the single board computer future. That's what we're going to see. So we're going to make sure that going forward, no matter what comes out, whether it's a QB Banana Pi or like an all-winner 50,000, who knows, we will be able to support it going forward.
You know what I liked about Tony's Day of Making project is that it'd be cool to every single year, because now this is an official thing, Day of Making, you decide to do just the hello world, the blinking on a new microcontroller.
CPLDs, FPGAs, a 555 timer,
Yeah.
a couple of D-latches, whatever.
Yeah.
You can use transistors and make like one of those like cross transistor oscillators too. It's all good.
Yeah.
Noah and Pedro came by to show off their future next step project, which is an Iris quadcopter NeoPixel ring prop guard.
Yeah.
It's a propeller guard so that the propellers are protected, which is actually kind of a good idea for the safety of the quadcopter. And also, I mean, I'm not going to say it's safe for the person, but it's like it makes it a little bit less likely that you'll just chop your hand off if you accidentally hit your hand in the propellers.
Yeah.
And they didn't stop there. They added a bunch of NeoPixel rings so it looks cool and glows and shit. Yeah. Erin, Robot Girl, came by with her multi-BLE to iOS game controller. She's actually doing some interesting experimentation. So a lot of people have Bluetooth Low Energy that they connect to iOS or Android, but what if you have multiple Bluetooth Low Energy connectors, controllers you want to connect? Like you want to have 2 game controllers. Well, she's like, well, that's a good question. So she's trying out a bunch of different controllers. She's trying out our NRF 8001. She's trying a Blue Giga board and trying different ways to connect multiple Bluetooth Low Energy devices, round robining them, or connecting through an XB bridge. Anyway, it's very interesting. It's something actually I don't know about. So she's paving new ground in the Bluetooth Low Energy experimentation.
Yeah.
Andrew came in with 2 projects. Yeah, he came in with an Altoids tin gamepad that he made with a Bluefruit Easy Key. So it's just a bunch of buttons on a Permaproto Altoids tin. We have one Permaproto that fits into Altoids tin very nicely. And little tactile buttons with some Sugru. And he was he made a game controller and was playing Donut Plains from the Super Mario Brothers Super NES emulator. And he's working on a future Bluetooth Low Energy Android car notification project that he doesn't want us to talk about.
Okay.
Oh, shoot.
You can watch the video.
Okay.
Okay, next up.
All right. Sorry, Andrew. I told everybody. Lewis came by with a wireless printer bot printing setup that he has. It's a Raspberry Pi with, he's going to have Wi-Fi, and he can have a webcam so he can remote start prints and watch his prints from, from his vacation home or school or out back, whatever. Wireless printing, it's cool. And like a little webcam too, so you can watch it. Good use of a big Raspberry Pi. Bob came in and showed off the Black Box laser cut boombox. This is the big laser cut boombox that's powered with our 20-watt Class D amplifier and a spectrum analysis thingy shield and some LED matrices and some NeoPixel. It is the bombing, and he played the Tom and Bacon tune that they designed for their iOS game, for Love Resistance.
What's funny is we have all these music projects and all these things that people use to play music, and we have amplifiers and we can all do that, but we can, if we play even the smallest little bit of music that's not ours, YouTube shuts our video down. So we have to make sure we have our own set of music, which we do. We're actually coming out with an album very soon. You heard that here first. We have an Adafruit album coming out.
Okay.
And that solves all of our problems and causes a whole set of unique ones too.
Okay. Mic drop.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Nicholas came in with an LCD Duino, which is a cross between an Arduino and our RGB LCD shield. So it's an all-in-one little Arduino, and it can control an RGB LCD. I don't know. That seems kind of handy. Good project for you want to like control something. You want to have some buttons in an Arduino, but you also want a two-line LCD, which is pretty common. And Paul B came in with Maker Charades. He designed a wireless Bluetooth haptic keyboard, which is really interesting. So it's 4 keys, 1 for each finger on each hand, except for thumb. And you can press the buttons, and like it's kind of like a chording keyboard-ish setup, it looked like, to send messages, or maybe it's more like texting style keyboard. I don't know exactly, but it looked like you can type out messages by combos of pressings. And then it also can send signal back using these little mini buzzers. It's actually very similar to the MIDI glove we'll be talking about later, to send messages back to the user. So it's kind of interesting keyboard interface, haptic keyboard.
Okay.
That's it.
That's everything. Participants on the show and tell get a, as seen on the show and tell sticker. You get a sticker sent to us. Just email support@adafruit.com and you get as seen on show and tell sticker. Lady
Vinyl
Ada,
sticker.
how do they get on the show and tell?
If you want your own vinyl sticker and join us on next, which is not Day of Making, but still a day of making for makers. Every day is Maker Day for makers. You can join us on the show and tell every single Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time here in New York. We're in New York, but you're at home. Hopefully we're in clothes. And you can get on the list by going to our Google Plus page at plus.google.com/+Adafruit.
Okay.
And look for the post where we say comment here to get added to the lovely show and tell circle. Comment there more than half an hour before the show and tell.
Yeah.
More than half an hour. And preferably even like a day. Wow, like, please give us a day. And then we'll add you to the show and tell circle, and then you will be invited every single week to join me, PT, and the nation of makers showing off their projects on
Okay.
show and tell.
All right. So speaking of, today is Day of Making, as brought forth
Today.
by the President of the U.S. So this is interesting. So right now there is a lot of people in the maker world, individual makers, kids, adults, youngsters, oldsters, people from all walks of life, all areas of the country, to celebrate making. This is a screenshot of the White House site, the first ever White House Maker Faire, and some things from Maker Faire that people might remember, like the electric giraffe is there, all sorts of things, 3D printers, lots of things. So if you look on the website on whitehouse.gov, there is a presidential proclamation. I'm just going to read the last part of this.
Okay.
As President of the United States, by virtue of authority vested in me by the Constitution and the laws of the United States, do hereby proclaim June 18th, 2014 as National Day of Making. I call upon all Americans to observe this day with programs, ceremonies, and activities that encourage a new generation of makers and manufacturers to share their talents and hone their skills.
Okay.
High praise from
Hone it up.
the President of the U.S. So this is neat.
Okay.
We got contacted not too long ago, and we actually couldn't go down to D.C. You got the thing to fill out. You had to get cleared by the Secret Service before, I believe, for when you talked to the President on the Fireside Hangout. You got the same thing again. We couldn't make it. It's actually hard to be a maker manufacturer and leave the maker facility.
Yeah.
And we also have 2 shows on Wednesday. So we thought, well, what can we do? So we talked to them. And so this is the special Nation of Maker edition of Ask an Engineer. We said, hey, we happen to do 2 shows on the Day of Making. How perfect. If it was a different day, we'd probably do special shows that day. But kind of nice for us. And then we also did the show and tell Nation of Makers. And we also put all this stuff on our site. So what I wanted to do is there's some makers that I think deserve some special kudos that are out there. And the reason is they make more makers. Yeah. And I think that's important.
Okay.
So there's people who have individual projects, there's show and tell folks, there's folks who have the big project they worked on for years. Mm-hmm. But these are specific people that make more makers, which is making,
it's like they're like the Y Combinator of makers.
Which is helping more people do all those projects.
Yes.
So
Ideally, it'd be makers that make more makers that make more makers.
So they're multipliers.
Okay.
So the first one that we want to recognize for this Nation of Makers, Day of Making, is Aya. Aya is CEO and founder of Little Bits. We sell the Little Bits in our store. And Little Bits is a fantastic way to get started with electronics. You understand the circuits. They have little magnets. They plug in together.
Analog,
they're all
and
analog.
Digital, and sensors.
They have a new Arduino one. They have a Korg thing where you have a synth. And Aya is one of the people that are out there that's not only a business, but it's also a cause.
Yep.
So Aya is on our list of people, makers, who make more makers. Next up, Christy from Instructables, co-founder of Instructables, and probably
Instructables has touched the lives of every maker.
Yeah, and
easily.
Yeah, and probably and still the largest user-contributed show and tell site on the web. So we find a lot of people that we like to work with by looking at their tutorials on Instructables. So if you've never checked it out, instructables.com, and
which is impossible, but let's say you haven't.
Let's say you haven't. Go there.
Go there.
Christy is one of the people who runs the site, and running a giant community that stays together that long, setting the tone, all the hardware and software that goes into running a giant site like that.
There's contests, like famous contests.
And I'll tell you the best thing that Christy and her team did. They got acquired by Autodesk, and Instructables only got better. Got better
That's
for
right.
everyone.
It's actually only more popular, more easier to use. It got more renovations, and they're doing more with it.
Yeah.
Yay!
So Christy is on our list of makers.
She definitely. Aya definitely has been making makers from like the 6 to 12 year range.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, this
and
is
then
Instructables.
And then Instructables is making makers from like the. It's a little bit older, usually from 12 to 25 year range. These are making makers.
Okay. Next.
It's like the original how-to site.
All right. Next up. Lenore from Evil Mad Scientist Laboratories. Lenore is one of the co-founders.
Is that her invisible plane?
No, that's a visible plane.
Okay, well, but it's...
Yeah. Lenore, co-founder of Evil Mad Scientist Laboratories. Again, another company that helps make makers. In fact, super awesome Sylvia was at the White House event.
Yeah.
And she's one of the people that's involved with...
She was working with Evil Mad Scientist.
The watercolor bot. So one of the coolest, interesting robots that we've seen in the last few years is the watercolor bot. This bot will create pictures, actual watercolor paintings, from whatever you send it. So it's kind of cool. So that's Lenore.
Colorful
Another
paintings.
maker on Nation of Makers we want to celebrate. And then last one, there's a good interview on ShopLocket about Danielle from Othermill. So I took that photo from their site and used it for this. And Othermill is a really cool company. We had Mike Esty, the CTO, on our show. And the Othermill is a machine that will help you make the things that you want to make.
That's right.
Rapid prototypes of PCBs.
This is like the 3D printer, but for milling.
Yeah.
It's like a maker bot for milling.
And so I usually do a maker business section. And my maker business section is also together with the Nation of Maker discussion right now. They got $3 million in funding.
Yep.
So another
just like today. They announced it.
Today they got it.
Today making.
So that'll help them
funding.
continue to grow. And I think this machine is going to be one of the things that help makers continue to make things. And last up, you had nothing to do with this list, so I get to put anyone I want. You. Lady Ada, you're one of the people who makes...
But I'm right here.
You're right here, but...
that's where the little pick and place.
That's when we had our little pick and place.
That's the little pick and place.
But
oh, it's so cute.
I'll tell you on behalf of the staff and everyone I know, keep on making makers.
Keep on trucking?
Keep on trucking and keep on making makers. So...
I worked on 2 designs today.
I know.
And I think all the designs I do, they're all open source, and I see a lot of other companies like using the stuff that I've done to create their own ideas, their own companies, their own vision. It's actually kind of nice.
So, not I know you work hard and you get tired, but no, I'm one of you're one of the people I think in the world that helps make more makers, and I think that's really important. Okay. Next up.
500 more tutorials.
Back to the mailbag. Every week we get letters from people around the world. Packet comes by. He's a little mailbag guy.
Okay.
little mailbag entity.
I'm gonna move this up a little bit.
All right, so this is from David. Hi, this is fan mail. You have no category that. You must not get as much praise as you deserve, so I choose a category at random. Anyways, I just want to take a moment to tell you what a fantastic site you have. When I was working with Arduinos a year ago, I just quickly discovered dozens of sites that came as my primary source for components. Having worked with all of them over a period of months, multiple purchases for each, I reached the conclusion that Adafruit is the place to go for everything Arduino. You have an amazing selection of products, including many that you've developed on your own. You have fair prices, excellent service, and best of all, extensive help for figuring out how to get the most out of your Arduino and supporting components. Having reached that conclusion, I will now make Adafruit my primary source for all projects and needs. If you don't have what I want, I'll go somewhere else. Otherwise, I'll just key in what I need on your site and not bother looking anywhere else. You've got it all.
We've got it all.
Kudos to Adafruit. Well done. Well, thank you, David.
Thanks.
It's true.
We have it all.
If we don't have what you want, you can go somewhere else.
Crap. No,
Yeah.
no, that's true.
All right.
Technically, just go elsewhere. No,
Yeah.
but we're adding like 1.5
Yeah.
items per day. I mean, it averages out to like 10 a week. But
Yeah.
so it's not like we put in half a product a day, but we're constantly putting in new stuff. And what I really like is everything we put in is really good.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll talk about that later.
Next up, I'm going to try to get through these fast. We are sponsoring a robot contest.
Oh yeah.
DNA Lounge, JWZ, kind of like granddaddy of the internet. One of the people at Netscape.
He's
Now he owns
like the hermit of the internet.
and now he owns a goth club.
He like has
in
a goth club cave that he sits in.
Yeah, in San Francisco. So JWZ is someone we really think is cool, and he has this robot competition. Excellent music. DNA Lounge is all the way in September. If you're in the Bay Area, we're a sponsor of this, and we'll put up more things on the site. But robot contest ahead. Okay, next up. Adafruit Learning System. I can go through the first few of these for you, Lady Ada. Yes. Colin has posted up the transcript and more for Colin's Lab soldering.
Resources, transcripts, some photos.
Yeah. Next up, the one for Colin's Lab breadboards and perf boards. Also up, transcript and video. Next up, Colin's Lab tutorials of multimeters. So all that and more from Colin. And next up, we've got a tutorial from me.
Wow, is this your first tutorial?
No, I have a bunch of behind-the-scenes ones, and I worked on.
No, but public, I'm learned.
Yeah, so.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah. Anyways, this is just checking order status on Adafruit.com and guest status. I needed to do an example for our team, and so I timed myself to see how fast I could do it, and then I said, okay, like this one took me 20 minutes. You guys just take 2 hours. Because I live in our support system, so there it is.
Yeah. So now you know. I think it's really cool that our learning site is going to be for like order support and customer support and tech support and project. Yeah. It's like everything. It's
gonna do everything.
It's like how to reverse engineer, connect, and check your order status.
That's right. Next up, this one is from today. This is the MIDI drum glove. We'll show that video shortly.
Yay.
We've got the 8-bit box.
Yeah, this is an older project that we had. We saw this and we're like, this is a cool project. It's a little Bluetooth connected box with an Arduino that lights up, and you can control the color, and you can like press a button. It's just like a little interface box. Okay. It's a fun little toy if you want to play with Bluetooth. And we have a 3D printing tutorial on how to make an adabot. We're going to show that video too. It is super cute. It is so cute. As Lady Ada said, it will make you throw up rainbows. Blah. Okay, next up. On Tuesdays, we have Time Travel Tuesday, a look back in the world of makers, hackers, artists, engineers, and more. This week, we celebrated Escher's birthday, 1898. Okay. Happy birthday. Probably one of the most influential illustrators and artists. An amazing illustrator, and then he also like kind of like, he didn't just do illustrations, he did some of this surrealism.
Yeah, all geometric and more. So happy birthday, cool stuff. Wearables. This week we have a couple things. I am going to point to our site. This is an interview. Every day we have cosplay and costuming on our site that's bridging the costuming world and electronics in one. And Amy, our cosplay and costuming correspondent, interviewed Diddy Cosplay. And he has amazing costumes, and he shows you how he makes them, and he talks about that and more. And then last up, for wearables for this week, we have the MIDI drum glove, and we're going to play the video.
I break something? Uh-oh.
This week's Wearable Electronics project uses piezos as tap sensors sewn into the fingertips of a glove. Sew a little pocket around each piezo using a simple whip stitch. Perfect placement for finger drumming. Here's a tip. Double your thread and wrap the ends around your finger. Roll it off and cinch the twist for an easy knot. Fancy. Each piezo has a 1 megaohm resistor soldered across it, sealed with heat shrink tubing. Ribbon wires route to the Flora microcontroller on the back of the hand, where they connect to 4 analog inputs and a common ground. Stitch Flora and the wires to the glove. To tie off, pierce through a previous stitch, pull almost all the way through, then catch the remaining loop with your needle and pull tight. Plug in a mini USB cable and use the glove to trigger your favorite music software like GarageBand or Nano Studio. You can change the output and sensitivity in the Arduino sketch. Tom writes a lot of the music you hear at Adafruit. Let's see what he thinks. So if you want to make your own MIDI drum glove, head over to the tutorial on the Adafruit Learning System and subscribe for more wearable electronics from Adafruit.
All right.
Okay, Tom approved.
I love Tom. Okay, next up.
Oh, so the cool thing about this project is we finally, through much tweaking and hacking, got MIDI working on the floor. A lot of people were asking about a MIDI Flora project, and like I knew it was possible, but there's a couple of things you got to do to make it work. This is actually a true MIDI device, and so what's nice is you can plug it into any computer software that uses MIDI, like USB MIDI, and it sends like MIDI note on and note off messages. So I don't know, I think it'll be fun. Like people love doing glove projects.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
DIY musical gloves. Maybe we'll make a version that's wireless.
Yeah, I had the color glove. I worked with Colin
the
on
color
that.
glove,
Yeah,
and
so it
the
would
MIDI
play a song or music or a tone based on the
Yeah.
color it saw with our color sensor.
Yeah, I
Okay.
love the little piezos that we have in the store, and they're actually perfect for fingertips. Like you can
Okay.
really see them.
Don't forget, this is Nation of Makers. Code is Nation of Makers. 10% off everything in the Adafruit store up until midnight tonight.
Okay,
3D printing time, Lady Ada.
3D Thursday.
All right, so Noah and Pedro hard at work on their latest. This is the 3D printed adabot. We got a lot of requests once adabot came out for like plushies and things. But we're going to show you how to make your own adabot. This is a little animated GIF. Pink, 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 pink. By the way, Twitter supports animated GIFs by today, as of today.
I've unfortunately seen them.
I know. This one is on there. So let's watch this video. This is an adabot being 3D printed.
Welcome to another episode of 3D Thursday. Today, we're 3D printing Adabot.
You can make your very own adabot with this DIY kit from Adafruit. Our 3D printed kit is optimized for open source electronics. The 16-piece design works on most printers and can be customized to fit your printer. You can print adabot in different colors to make it match your style. The 3D printed parts snap together, making this an easy to build kit. The arms, legs, and head are movable, making this adorable robot posable. Check out our guide on the Adafruit Learning System for printing tips and a full assembly tutorial. Use our hand tools from the Adafruit shop to make support removal quick and easy. Add an Arduino, LEDs, and sensors to make this robot light up and maybe even play back your favorite catchphrase.
Excellent.
What awesome projects would you make with your own adabot? Let us know in the comments below.
All functions are fully operational.
Thanks so much for watching.
Okay.
Hey.
All right.
Welcome back.
We're back. Okay. So that was the 3D printed adabot.
Can we just have this from now on? This is kind of fun. This little like
Yeah.
Adabot and the Adafruit thing, and we're hanging out in the corner. We're
Okay.
like on the wall.
All right. Adabot will be part of a chess set that we're working on too. So, Lady Ada, before we get going on new products, this is the code. Nation of Makers. It's new product time. We got a lot of stuff going on here. New products. All right. You want to do this?
Yeah.
Okay,
just
let's
like
start.
Adabot.
Okay. First up, this is the coming soon. These will be in shortly. This is Simon Monk. Make your own PCBs with Eagle. We sell Eagle. So Simon Monk, who is a prolific author on the Adafruit Learning System has his own book about making PCBs with Eagle. Everyone wanted to know this, and
I mean, there's good tutorials online, but this is a book
Yeah.
that takes you from step by step, and there's also there's a lot of tips and tricks that you may not get if you just use online tutorials. There's a lot of tips that I didn't understand how to do, like invoking, and you can swap library part, all these weird things. Anyways, this book will cover it, and it's a very step by step system of learning. So someone's an excellent instructor.
Okay, so sign up. The book will be here in a couple days, but we got that. Okay. Next up, we also have another coming soon. This is the Adafruit UNS. This is the open source 8x8, and it is one of the coolest things to behold. I think we showed this on, it's not out yet, last week.
Yeah, I think so too.
So it's up for sign up. These are going to go really fast, so if you want one, sign up right away.
It's using that USB MIDI code that we did.
Yeah.
We did with the Flora and Leonardo. So it's a true USB device. And it's kind of like an open source grid controller that is all Arduino. It's laser cut. You can modify. I want to show you how you can easily use a plate and add pots on the side that are encoders. All sorts of cool stuff.
I think
So
we're going to
super
see
happy.
these used quite a bit.
Okay.
Okay, next up, this just arrived today, and it's in the store. This is probably going to be one of the next kind of foundational, is that a word? Foundation books for people who are
Yeah.
getting into electronics. So Make Electronics by Charles Platt is one of the books that we recommend. This is Make More Electronics
Ooh.
by Charles
You
Platt.
like electronics? There's more. So
Yeah.
it's the continuation of the previous book. So I think we got a sample, and we're going to be carrying this. So sign up, and we'll let you know as soon
Yeah.
as we get them in stock.
Charles Platt, probably one of the best instructional authors on
Analog electronics,
Analog
low
electronics,
electronics,
and
yeah.
more.
This is really good low-level stuff. If you want a good introduction to low-level,
Okay.
this is excellent. It teaches you the foundation.
Next up, so I wanted to show the end result first. These are the shirts that you can make with these kits. And we saw these and we're like, wow, these are really cool. They're finally available to the world. This is a technique that it's been out there. So you put on this ink, you block
Yeah.
the light, you expose it, and then you wash it, and you get this, again, this is what the end result is. These are really cool.
It's basically photolithography,
Yeah.
but with with ink that you can fabric dye.
Yeah.
So instead of having to have a film and a stencil and you squeegee, which is really messy, and it's always really hard to do silk screening.
Yeah.
This kind of lets you do silk screening, but one off, where you
Not
just
as messy.
and it's not messy because you're just doing it where you're not squeegeeing this ink.
Yeah.
You just expose whatever you want. So it's kind of an interesting UV sunlight reactive dye.
We have a few of these. So this is from Lumi. This is the photo printing kit. And we have a couple different types. These are some photos of the boxes.
Yeah, we have one for T-shirts. We won't have one that comes with a bag, you make a bag, and then there's one that's for paper. So there's a couple different ones, and they all use the same ink. They're just different system kits. Some have more than the other. Some are meant for it comes with this one comes with a bag.
Yeah.
And you basically. I think it's already soaked, and you actually just lay it down with all the stuff that you want to have exposed. This T-shirt uses a transparency, so you can use transparencies as a way of doing it. So that's a lot easier than silk screening. Again, there's no weird exposure lights or anything. You just put it out in the sun, and since it's summer, it's a really good season to do these projects.
Yeah, and they have this cool iPhone app and everything. It's pretty cool. It's good. We saw this and we're like, oh, this is something.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's an old skill that they're revitalizing, which I like.
Yeah. What we found is once people start to get into electronics and making and hang out on the Adafruit site, go to the show and tell, see Ask an Engineer, look at the Wearable electronics videos, look at the 3D printing videos, hang out on all of the places that we publish the stuff. They want to do more. They're like, oh, you know what? Why should I just wear a boring T-shirt when I can make my own designs on a T-shirt?
Yeah.
The world becomes something that they can make, hack, mod.
Here, wear this hat.
I will.
I need some space
I
here.
will wear this hat in a bit. This is
Okay.
the special code hat, but
All
I can't
wear
do it
the
right
code
now.
hat later. Then.
Okay.
That's fine.
Next up, Lady Ada, we have a case, and this is the new BeagleBone metal case.
Yeah, this is the new. We have this same kind of case, but for Pi. This is the bottom, so it's kind of boring. Want to skip ahead?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the This is a case. It's from it's an American company that does their own machining, and this is a BeagleBone black case, and it's kind of an elegant case. There's a little bit of the sort of a G3 Mac. Is this the G3? Does it look like?
That's the old, the G3,
G3 or
G4s,
G4
yeah.
or whatever. Anyway, it has that kind of style. Has these air holes at the tops, nice ventilated, and you can mount the BeagleBone black in it. It's actually a very beautiful case, very lovely, very well made. If you want a solid aluminum case, There's two tops. One top has the GPIO pins exposed. One is kind of fully covered. I don't know. Check it out.
Yeah.
We have a couple of big and black cases now, but we wanted something that was
Yeah.
durable.
This is on the high end scale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Next up. What are these?
Okay. This is an edge launch SMA connector,
Right.
which I need for.
That was going to be my first guess.
Yeah, good guess. Which I'm going to be using for the future cellular Wi-Fi type projects we're going to be doing. And I actually just want to show on the overhead real fast how you connect it. I'm going to show the thicker
Sure.
PCB one. And this is
Okay.
actually a good time to maybe focus and such.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'll get to that in a second.
Okay. Meanwhile. So this is the connector over here, which you can see, and it'll come into focus in a second. There you go.
Yeah, that's about as good as it's going to get.
Yeah, can you lower the brightness a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So yeah, it's an edge launch connector, and you basically have these three like pads, and then the connector launches out the edge of the PCB, and then it kind of hugs the edge. So you have like two connections down here for ground, two connections for ground down here, and then a signal line. And we had the ones for standard thickness PCBs, and this is the standard thickness PCBs. And now we have ones for half thickness PCBs. So if you're doing some RF work, you may have decided to, control your impedance by having the PCB be half thickness, so for closer traces. In that case, you want a thinner one. So this one is much thinner. If you can go to, not that one,
The one with the quarter on it?
no, the first photo.
I'm going to go to the first photo.
Yeah, you can see in this photo that the two legs, this slot in between is only 0.8 millimeter. So it's really good for like half thickness or even thinner PCBs. Anyways, for RF people, you want it.
Okay.
Okay, I want to just a slight bit quickly while you go to the next thing.
Sure. Next up, I can start talking about this.
Yeah.
This is an iPhone case, believe it or not, that does the wireless charging.
Yeah, this is the Pixel Key. We're going to have more Pixel Key stuff, or Pixel
Yeah.
Qi. We're going to have
Would you call this the
transmitter.
Qi wireless charger?
Qi wireless charger.
Yeah, and here it is. This is actually my phone, and it
This
works.
is your phone charging.
Yeah.
So it lets you use an iPhone 5S, is what you have?
Yeah,
With the lightning connector, the little.
I have a
5-pin.
few phones for testing, but that is one of them.
No, but this case only works with the 5S.
That's right.
Because it has the lightning connector. And it might work with the 5C, but we don't have one, so I'm not sure. And it slips on, and it uses the little Qi bracket that we have, but it's pre-connected to the lightning bolt thingy, and then it charges, so you can just put it down on the Qi charger plate that we have here. We're going to have Qi transmitters, which basically allow you to build the plate that it's charging on top of. We don't have those in yet, so we're just kind of getting all those things ready. That's why we have this kind of weird, like, iPhone accessory. But in the future, you'll be able to make your own wireless charging plate. I think it's actually a really slim
Did a
case.
good
It's
job
super
with the
skinny.
design.
Geez, it's a really nice standard. It's a very slim coil. Good control.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can see the metal shielding plate. All right, next up.
Next, this is from Pololu.
This is from Pololu, and this is, I don't remember the distance. I think it's like up to 20 centimeter distance sensor from Sharp. I don't remember the exact centimeters. Maybe somebody can look it up and post it in the chat. This is a little breakout for a Sharp distance sensor. And Pololu made a lovely breakout, and we're like, hey, like, why make it? You guys did such a good job. So we're carrying it, and I think it's an analog output chip. It has a little bit of control logic. And it's just an IR distance sensor. It bounces IR light and measures the bounce reflection, not the time of flight, but it like can read like the angle and tells you how far it is away and stuff. And it does a pretty good job. Good for robotics if you're doing like wall detection, or you put it on the ground to measure if it's going to fall off a ledge.
Okay, and then next up, we have an entire run of different displays. Now, how do you want to handle this? Do you want me to
Let's just go through them. Okay.
Okay.
So actually, this was the one I actually have up here, so this is a good one to do right now. So can we go to the overhead?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm just going to show these photos.
So this is a 5-inch screen with a mini HDMI driver. Oh wait, no, you went too far.
Yeah, it's
These are all mixed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you show this one only?
I'm just going to show this one only.
No, on the overhead.
Yeah.
Yay! Okay. And let me turn this off. I don't think this is necessary. Okay, so so you can see the screen much better. So this is a 5. Ooh, what'd you do? It's really nice.
Yeah.
Nice, thanks. So this is a 5-inch diagonal screen, and it's 800 by 480. And hold on, I gotta turn on this little keyboard. Hello. Okay, so you got a little mouse, and it's just running X. And this is driven by a little HDMI driver, has HDMI in, and then there's this cable, and we have this like cable adapter thingy. And what's nice about this one, and there's a little keyboard, so you can like, you can do things. You can like, you can like set the color and like brightness and all that good stuff. And you can also change the input. Sorry, you can actually only have HDMI, but you can change like the color and contrast and like flip the display if you want. So it only has HDMI input, and it connects, like for example, to this Raspberry Pi here. And what's nice is that it can power itself from a USB port. So this power cable is connected to a USB port, and as long as you're powered into a wall adapter that has like up to an amp, you can power this display. It just needs like 500 milliamps, and it has like HDMI quality, and it's really good looking, and it's like really crisp, and it's like very, very fast. And because it's like native HDMI, all the graphics optimized stuff for HDMI works with it. So we have this in 5-inch with this little mini driver. And then we also have this with the larger driver, which is the...
This one?
Oh no, sorry, the larger driver we already have in the store.
Okay.
That's why I don't have it here.
Yeah, so what I had is, these are just other photos
This
of...
is the
7-inch
1280 by 800 display. So this is a really high quality, high resolution display that does have a larger driver. It doesn't have a touch screen, but it's like super high res, and doesn't have audio. We already had the version with audio, and this one doesn't. It's a little bit less expensive.
Okay.
That's for the final product. Can you pull it to the end?
Okay. How did... I don't understand why these are like this. These are exactly the way they came in.
I don't know. Can you put that at the end? That image.
Just point to the one you want more.
Okay, that one.
Great.
Okay, we also have 7-inch displays that are 800 by 480. So we have 1280 by 800 displays, and they're like super high resolution. They're from tablets. They're like super good looking. We also have these 7-inch displays that are 800 by 480 resolution, and they're a lot less expensive because they're not as high resolution. But they are really good looking, and they're super bright. Can you go to the next photo? We have one with a little mini driver. Again, it runs off of a USB port and has HDMI connectivity. And then here's a version showing text, so it's like really good quality text. And here's showing it all laid out. It's kind of high cable. And you can see the power cable's a USB port.
Okay.
And then skip ahead. And then we have a version with the larger HDMI, VGA, and composite driver. So if you have VGA output or composite output, you still want to use the screen, we have that driver. So we're going to have a tutorial to talk about all these different HDMI drivers. But basically, we have all these screens. And sometimes you have only HDMI, you can use the MIDI driver. Sometimes you want to use VGA, you need the larger driver. Sometimes you want like super high resolution IPS, and so you have to pay more for the screen. So we have a really wide range of screens.
What would you use these for? There's like so many of them that
I know, there's a lot.
They all came in at the same number, or like I don't know.
They all came in the same time because we shut them all at once and we put them all in the store. We're talking these multi-freeze with Raspberry Pi, although it works with anything that has HDMI out.
Little arcades or something?
You could use it for arcades, you can use it with your Xbox, you can use it with a Windows computer, you can use it with a Mac that has HDMI output or VGA output. Anything that has
make your own
video.
Like ebook readers and stuff, anything.
Well, I mean, it would be a DIY tablet, whatever, anything that you want to screen. And HDMI is pretty universal, and the HDMI works with BeagleBone Black. We tested it, and with Raspberry Pi, and any other future single board computer.
I see what you're doing. So basically, all these like embedded Linux things all have HDMI out. That's why you got this going on.
Yeah. So I have these little screens, and they just like they're little screens that work really well with all of them, and they're like about $100 or so, but you get like a really nice resolution screen. They're much nicer than the low cost. Like car TV screens, which have composite and they don't have like really clear pixels, like you can't actually see very well. These are all like really, really high quality because they're HDMI, so it's digital.
All right, and then we have two more things. This is the
Pi Spy.
The spy camera for Raspberry Pi. There's a little tiny camera that plugs into the Raspberry Pi, so super, super tiny. That you can.
Yeah, this is a little camera, and I don't know what it was originally made for.
Yeah.
But it works with the Raspberry Pi, and it's a little miniature, like, pinhole camera, and it's super teeny, which I thought would be really useful if you. And the cable is very flexible and long, so you can thread it around and maybe put the camera in something that the official Raspberry Pi camera would be too big for. So it's kind of an alternative to that. I tried it out, worked really well with all the normal Raspberry still and Raspberry Vid stuff. Same resolution, same quality, same everything. I think it's the same chipset for the camera.
Okay.
But so I was like, that's cool. I'll pick up a couple of these and see what people do with them.
Okay. And last up, we're at the end here.
Yay! This is kind of an interesting one. Hold on, let me grab it from over here. This is a. Hold on, sorry.
That's all right.
All my tools.
I got plenty of photos.
This is a 40-pin TFT friend, which is a device that I created in-house for when I was messing with all these displays that you saw. Like a lot of them have 40-pin connectors. And I did all this prototyping, and the thing about these is they have a backlight that has 7 LEDs in a row, and so you need a boost converter that can do like constant current boost. So I made this little breakout board that breaks out all the pins so you could breadboard or wire, and it has a little boost converter on the left. You can kind of see a little inductor and a chip. So it can boost, and you can set the current to be like 20 to 100 milliamps. And I use this, for example, I have a demo here. Maybe I can show it really fast, but hold on. I'm going to orient this on the overhead. So yeah, here it is. Here's the connector.
So you use this so you can do all the
so this is that same
stuff.
screen.
Okay.
And then this is connected to here, and then you can see I can put it into a breadboard. And then, hold on, let me grab a USB cable. And this allows me to do like I'm wiring it up to this TFP 4401, which is an HDMI driver chip. But it's like I don't want to have to like, put the connector on the breakout, and then I don't even know if the wiring is correct. Hold on, let me see if I can power this up here. I'll see if it boots up. But but yeah, this flex cable comes down here, and it connects to this breakout. Oh, sorry, wrong one. There you go. So yeah, you can see like I'm testing out this display, and I'm like, this is not quite right. Didn't wire it correctly, but I can have this HDMI chip control this display with this breakout, because it's easier for me to plug it into the breadboard, and like I can wire up the blue, red, and green wires and the control wires, and play around with it and try different displays. And I don't know, I just thought it was handy. If anyone out there ever like uses dot clock displays, this is like a super handy little board to have. So I thought I'd put it in the store, and like it's like $10.
Yeah.
For other people.
I like it when you release the tools that you use to get your job done here. It's very nice.
Yeah, I mean they're not like the super most popular products in the store, but I'm like, this is so useful. Like,
yeah,
and I couldn't find anything like it out there, which was really annoying. So I had to like design this board. Anyway, so yeah, if you use dot clock displays and they're 40 pins, you probably want this thing.
All right. And with that is new products. Good work, Lady Ada. We have too many HDMI displays. People buy these, so we don't have to.
I know. I'm going to write a tutorial about how all the different displays. Maybe next week we'll talk about it.
Okay. That was new products. I got the code hat on. I'll turn the light down later, but on my I did that with Wearable Wednesday. Okay. But I will I'll turn down the lights in a bit. Yeah. It says Nation of Makers on this. So all right. Why is that? Because that's the code.
Because that's the code. Nation of Makers. All right. So we have some time for questions.
Well,
or it's not out yet.
Do you want to do it's not out yet, or do you want to do some?
Yeah, I can do it quickly. Well, people have their questions.
Okay, so
I can hold it up.
Okay, folks, start putting your questions in the YouTube chat, and also put them in the IRC chat for. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, this is mega.
Okay, all right. Let me get to this.
So this is the.
This is top secret. Don't ask.
Don't ask. So this is a prototype that we just made like yesterday. Yeah. So we don't know when or if it'll come out. But it's a 16 by 8 ounce. So this is all 8 of the trellis boards you can address with one I2C bus, which is kind of handy. Yeah. And yeah, it's a Splinky. Oh, do you want me to like turn it on or something?
Well, you could if you want. This hat looks way better right now because
you have
we don't have the bright studio lights, All
right, so it's say, oh yeah, wow, that is really nice. Nation of Makers. Okay.
Nation of Makers, the code. It's because the hat says so.
All right, so this is the 16 by 8 grid controller. Okay. And I think I programmed it with a test pattern that blinks all the LEDs.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is whoa.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Wow, it's really bright. And then yeah, if you press them, I think it does stuff.
Oh, okay.
Turns them
So
off.
when you press them, it turns it off. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think it's like,
It's so bright. That's cool.
all right.
Okay. All right. Well, my hat's gonna blink, and then we're gonna do this. Okay.
Okay.
So let's it's
This is
not out
fun.
yet.
I
Don't
get to
ask.
press these buttons for
Okay.
Whee!
All right. Let's go to the questions. Are you
Okay.
ready?
I'm gonna press these buttons.
I'm building a large installation that uses 16 plus meters of neopixels in series. How much current can can safely flow through the wires on the strips themselves?
We actually suggest only having 5 meters of strip in series at a time before you want to inject more power. And that's why those power wires come out, so you can inject 5 volts into every 5 meters. I would have a separate one because you want to have a thick cable from your 5 volt power supply because it's like amps, amperes.
All right. Maybe check out also
We have the Uber guide
the
too.
Uber guide,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
This is also a really handy lamp.
Okay. It's a nice lamp.
Yeah, hold on. Let me turn it back on.
Okay.
Yeah, sunning lamp.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
What's the right way to attach a TFT display to a PCB or some perf board?
Well, if it's a 40-pin dot clock, you should get that PCB I was showing off earlier. Any other ones? Usually it's a flex PCB. You'll need to have a flex PCB socket to connect it. The TFTs we have in the store, the 2.8s, they use a 50-pin connector. We have a 50-pin breakout in the connector in the store. So you can try those. It's a pain to solder. They're usually very fine pitch.
All right. Next up. Could you do a wireless version of the Mini Glove using a Bluetooth module?
You can. We might do that. We wanted to start with just USB MIDI because it's super fast and it's USB MIDI. The thing is, there's no such thing as Bluetooth MIDI. They didn't come up with a Bluetooth MIDI standard, so you'd have to use Bluetooth keyboard or Bluetooth serial. And we actually did a wireless Bluetooth keyboard music project already. It's the Noah and Pedro guitar project.
Yeah.
So check the learning system. We did a wireless. It's not true MIDI. It's keyboard MIDI. It says the keyboard commands, but it works with most MIDI software.
All right. What type of wireless module, similar to the XP modules, can you tell the distance from another module, a distance sensing wireless module?
It's really hard. There's no real good one.
There's entire startups that have that have dedicated themselves to saying they can do that. I've seen.
It's one of those things where it's
Wi-Fi,
like detecting where you are outside is really easy with GPS, but
bright that is.
Well,
Jeez
it
Louise.
shoots up extra bright for some reason.
Yeah.
For us, it's not so bad. Oh, that's extra bright in the video.
Yeah.
It's easy to detect distance to location outside, but location inside is very, 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 very hard. That's why there's people using like iBeacon, which can do some basic distance measurement, kind of, sort of, based on the strength of the signal, but it's really dependent on the location because the signal can be attenuated by a wall.
Okay. Next up, I'd like to use an ultrasound range sensor with an Uno or a Beagle in black to see cars coming up behind my bike and light a warning LED. What kind of cone should I be looking for, and is it reasonable? It's a hard project to do.
It's hard, but you could do it. We have the weatherproof Maxbotics. I would start with that. They're expensive, but
yeah, and you'll be able to tell us how far.
It's directional. It'll tell you exactly the distance. You can usually do it with Arduino.
Okay, next up. Someone has a couple of Chumbies, an earlier generation B-Bag one and a later model. What can I do with them now? Can you point me to a resource to get started hacking with them? Yeah, I think the Chumby forums still have, I think they're still up. And I think someone's running the Chumby server now, so you can do some type of connectivity. But as far as
they run Linux. I have a Chumby board tutorial still on the Lady Ada wiki, which is still valid for current Chumbies. I think it definitely works with the Chumby one. It works with the Chumby hacker board. If it boots Linux, you can log into it. But I don't know, and I know that Sean and Bunny sometimes check the forums, but the company doesn't exist, so.
Okay.
It's tough.
Would an accelerometer or gyroscope be better for sensing a small change in tilt after calibration?
A gyroscope would definitely be more accurate for tilt, but there's drift. Whereas accelerometer, if you're doing tilt against the Earth, you won't have any drift because the Earth is stable.
Okay.
It's not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere.
The Earth. What? It's not.
Okay. And then the previous question that someone had that I just saw now, will the compass sensor work in a metal tin? Does it get affected much by surrounded metal?
Yeah, I don't think compass sensors work when surrounded by metal.
Okay.
I don't think so. I mean, how?
Okay.
It's hard to detect a magnetic field through metal, I think, right?
Okay. What do you think? Did you
It might be affected, yeah.
Do you like this like dark mode at the end of the show? Do you
This is
want
cool, dark mode.
to do that? Okay, we'll
Okay.
continue that. All right, Lady Ada, we're wrapping up here.
Okay.
Nation Maker is the code. It's a day of making. Go check out the White House site right now. It's probably the only day there will be 3D printed things on the lawn of the White House.
Yeah, there's 3D printers,
Yeah.
electric giraffes,
Yeah.
watercolor
Okay.
bots.
Let's do the trivia question. What are the rules?
Rules are if you've entered this trivia question and won something, you cannot enter again. Only one winner per lifetime,
Yeah.
and we keep track. So don't try to enter. If you think you're going to enter, just go and I don't know, like.
What do you want to give away?
That's a good question.
How about we give away the Make More Electronics book?
Okay, make more electronics.
Because today is the
does
day
it?
of
It's a day of
making.
making.
It's a day of making.
Day of making.
And Charles Platt is part of Make, and he did this great book,
I agree.
Make Electronics, and now he's
Celebrate.
on now just like Hollywood. Now it's all about sequels. And so he did Make More Electronics, which I think is a great title.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
so-
you want this book? It's a great
Yeah.
book.
So here is the trivia question. Wherever we see this first in the chat.
Okay.
What is the name of the electric giraffe that Obama met today? President of the United States met a robotic electric giraffe. What is the name of the giraffe? Do you know the name of the giraffe, Lady Anna? I'm going to show you the name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. That's it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I keep confusing the name of the person and the giraffe.
That's right. It's very confusing.
It's very confusing. I don't want the name of the inventor. We want the name of the giraffe.
Yeah, the name of the giraffe. Let's see who gets it.
Electric.
Yeah. And
Giraffe.
there's a great photo on
And it's
Twitter.
not Obama. That's
There's-
the president's name.
There's a great photo of Obama and the giraffe
Hanging out?
interacting. I guess
Okay.
that's what you call
Yeah,
it.
you can pet the giraffe.
Yeah.
This is kind of cool. It's like Burning Man comes to the White House.
Someone said hobby. Nope, hobby's not it.
Name of the electric giraffe.
Nicola is not right.
Well, that'd be a good name, but it's not.
Let's see. It's still light up and stretchy. Nope, not stretchy. Russell, Daniel 3214, congratulations.
You're right.
You win the Make More Electronics book. Email support@adafruit.com. Just say, hey, my name is Daniel 3214. I won the Make More Electronics book on the show and tell. Congratulations. What a great this is our new lighting.
I have to know.
Yeah, you know what? We don't need lighting. We can just
I
use
can
this.
use these trusses. Okay, yeah.
Okay. So that's it. That's the show, Lady
Right.
Ada.
Thank you, everybody, for this lovely day of making.
Yep.
I'm a maker. You're a maker. We're all makers. We make together.
Yep.
We love LED hats.
Yeah.
We love the Maker Fair, and we love Make, and
All right.
it's all good. So go home and make an LED blink.
Yeah.
You still have time today.
The code is Nation Makers. Don't forget, use this 10% off. And it's day of making. Congratulations to everyone in the maker community. When you have a day that the president says, this is it, constitutional powers, I'm going to make a day, it's a day. We'll see everybody next week, 8 p.m., Ask an Engineer, 7:30 p.m., Show and Tell on Google Plus Hangouts, and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern. It is that time of the evening where we show Cat, MOSFET. He likes to meow at us. He's waiting for us right now. And here is your moment of Zener.